I started researching the 1889 Paris World Fair the same way every rabbit hole begins, with a single photograph. A single image that didn't make sense. At first glance, it was just a celebration of progress, a grand exposition that gifted the world the Eiffel Tower, electric lights, and the dream of modern civilization. But when I looked closer, things stopped adding up. Buildings that looked centuries old were said to have been built in just months. Monuments of marble, iron, and glass destroyed right after the fair ended. And buried within those ruins, whispers of something far older, something that some now call Tartaria.
Welcome to Whispers of Time. Here, we journey through the moments, memories, and stories that history almost forgot. From the quirky to the incredible, every video uncovers a piece of the past that whispers its secrets today. Hit subscribe and join us as we bring history back to life, one story at a time.
Paris, 1889. A century after the French Revolution. The city is the shining heart of progress. 32 million visitors flood the Exposition Universelle, marveling at electricity, technology, and architecture that seemed almost divine. But behind the celebration, a quieter story was unfolding. A story of erasure. What if the fair wasn't built to show progress, but to hide the evidence of an older civilization? A civilization erased from history, one exhibition at a time. The official story says the fair's buildings were temporary, yet the photographs show something else entirely. Vast stone halls, iron domes, intricate facades carved with ancient precision. Structures so massive and advanced that even modern engineers admit they'd struggle to build them today, let alone in the 1880s without digital design or cranes. The Palace of Fine Arts, the Colonial Pavilions, the Galerie des Machines, all demolished. No trace, no rubble, no explanation. Why destroy the most magnificent architecture ever created and leave only the Eiffel Tower behind? Let's talk about that building, the Galerie des Machines. It stretched over 400 meters long, covered in glass and iron, the largest indoor space in the world. No columns, no supports, just one continuous roof arching like a metallic horizon. Engineers of the time couldn't explain it. Some said it glowed at night. Others claimed it vibrated, almost hummed. There were rumors of underground water channels, pipes running from the river Seine into hidden chambers beneath the fairgrounds. Was the gallery a display of technology or a rediscovery of old-world technology? Many researchers now believe that this was no ordinary exhibition hall. It was a remnant of Tartarian architecture, a power system, not powered by coal, but the earth itself. A cathedral of energy that was never meant to be understood. And then, it vanished. By 1910, the Galerie des Machines was gone, officially dismantled, but not a single photo exists showing its destruction, not one. It's as if it was erased, piece by piece, from both the city and history itself. The French government claimed maintenance costs were too high. But how do you dismantle an iron and glass cathedral that large without leaving a trace? Maybe it wasn't dismantled. Maybe it was buried. Now look at what survived. The Eiffel Tower. A 300-meter iron spire that, by design, looks completely different from the rest of the fair. It's modern, metallic, alien. It was supposed to be temporary too, scheduled for demolition after 20 years. But it remained. Why destroy every stone masterpiece and keep the one structure that looks completely different? What if the Eiffel Tower wasn't built to celebrate the fair, but to seal what was buried beneath it? When workers began construction, they discovered hollow vaults below the Champ de Mars, strange cavities that engineers decided not to explore. They simply poured concrete over them. Even today, the underground levels of the tower remain restricted. Was the Eiffel Tower built on top of ancient Tartarian foundations to suppress their energy, or perhaps redirect it? After Paris, the same pattern appeared again and again. Chicago, 1893, St. Louis, 1904, San Francisco, 1915. Each World Fair, the same architecture. Grand palaces, colossal domes, ornate facades, all destroyed. Afterward, always the same excuse, temporary. Always the same silence. No demolition records. It's as if the fairs were not celebrations, but cover operations, excavations disguised as exhibitions. A global project to reveal the old world architecture and then erase it. If Tartaria truly existed, it was a civilization that harnessed energy differently, not through wires and combustion, but through architecture itself. Domes, spires, and iron networks acted like living circuits, drawing power from the atmosphere and the Earth's magnetic field. Look at the Eiffel Tower again. A perfect conductor, a design that later became the blueprint for radio towers, radar, even Tesla's experiments in wireless power. What if the 1889 Paris Fair was the turning point, the final act of the old world and the first step of the new industrial order? When natural free energy was replaced by controlled, monetized electricity. When ancient power systems were dismantled not because they failed, but because they couldn't be owned. Today, we walk beneath the Eiffel Tower and call it progress. But progress for whom? History tells us it was a fairground, but the photographs, they tell another story. The 1889 Paris World Fair wasn't just a celebration. It was an erasure, a cleansing of the past, a rewriting of civilization's memory. And in that silence, in those buried foundations beneath Paris, the echoes of Tartaria might still hum, waiting to be heard again. If history is written by the victors, then maybe it's time we start listening to the ruins.